Okay, so we're back, and I'm here with my friend Buddha, and today we're going to talk about meditation and what meditation can do for you in accessing the supermind and actually clearing away some of the energies that you have in your subtle bodies to allow guidance to come through. If you think about it logically, if you want to access the supermind or other realms or receive messages from angels or spirit guides or from your higher self, your mind can't be actively thinking of things. In order for you to receive something, your mind has to be quiet. So to train your mind to be quiet, the easiest technique would be meditation. And there's many different types of meditation, but they all have one thing in common, and that is to quiet the mind. So most often people, when they hear the word meditation, think of somebody like Buddha, somebody that's seated in a lotus position, maybe someone from the East. Sometimes we have ideas attached to meditation that involve having to sit for long periods of time or being uncomfortable. And it doesn't have to be that way at all. You can actually meditate while you're lying in bed. You could meditate while you're sitting. You could meditate at work just by closing your eyes for a little while. Even enter states of meditation as you're jogging, bicycling, exercising, doing just about anything. So the idea is to quiet the mind. And in quieting the mind, you basically look inward. You're closing your eyes sometimes, and making sure that the thoughts aren't continuing to go through your head. And this way, when you quiet the mind, you also quiet the body. And you're becoming more in tune to not only the subtle bodies, but your higher realms in the supermind, which Maurie Pressman calls the supermind. So one of the best techniques is in this lotus position, believe it or not, because the Buddha had it down. He had everything going for him, what he knew needed to be done in order for you to access this divine presence. And if you notice, the position that he's seated in is cross-legged with his head up straight. His hands are folded in his lap. Now, if you've ever seen an Egyptian pyramid, they used to bury their dead in something similar. And I say similar because a pyramid is similar in geometric shape as the Buddha. It's triangular. So most of the triangles or triangular shapes actually produce all of creation. They're uprooted in what you would say a three-pointed angle with at the top pointing up. So the ancient Egyptians believed that once after their kings or queens died, they would enter this monument and put their treasures in the monument in order to be transported into the next dimension, into the next world. And that's why it was shaped in the pyramidal shape. So probably the best shape, the best position to be in would be a cross-legged position with the crown of your head reaching or extending up toward the ceiling or sky. But it doesn't have to be that way. Now, some of the key points that you have to keep in mind is to actually calm the body, calm your mind, and calm your emotions. And you kind of have to do that all at once. So most often you start in a comfortable position, either laying on your back, sitting cross-legged, or even sitting on a chair. From there, you'll just close your eyes and you'll start to release the breath. And sometimes people will even use nostril breathing to quiet the mind and quiet the body. So if you want to try that, you can actually inhale through your left nostril by closing off the right, and then exhale by closing off the left through your right nostril, and then alternating as you go. And you'll notice immediately the body will start to relax. After a few seconds and you feel good with that, you let go, let your breathing go. And you might want to focus just on your breath. Just on your breath going in and out of the nostrils. In and out of the nostrils. Sometimes it helps also if you inhale deeply, hold for the count of 3, and then exhale a few times. Now, most often our challenges come up when we're sitting there. We get bored, we get antsy, we think about the laundry we have to do or what we have to do the next day at work. And our minds start off on what they call a train. So one thought leads to another, and we attach to the thought, and we go with it, and pretty soon we're thinking of the list of 10 things that we have to do tomorrow instead of actually using the time to quiet our mind. So if things like that come into your mind, if you think, oh gosh, I have to do the laundry, or let's hurry up and get this over with because I have to clean the house, or make a meeting or something like that, let the thought be. Whatever comes into your mind, don't attach to it. Just notice it as if it was some outside interference that you're just looking at, but you're not going to do anything about. And that's not getting on the train. So if you just let the thoughts go by you, like Jack Sparrow would say, just to let it by, wave at it as it goes by, you'll be fine. You just set in the moment, let it go by. And if it doesn't work, if you start really getting those thoughts and you can't get out of your mind, focus back on the breath. Use something to focus yourself back on. So the breath, your body breathing, the way that it feels, your breath going in and out on your upper lip. If you can pay attention to that area, that helps as well. What does meditation do? A lot of different things. It's going to calm not only your mind and your body, but you're going to also be able to access your spirit and your subtle bodies. So now we're joining in those 3 parts that we talked about last time, body, mind, and spirit. And at the same time, because we're not sitting there thinking like we normally are, we're not creating all these thought patterns in our subtle bodies. And what that means is energetically, my dogs are coming here, energetically, we're beginning to settle down the energies around us, and not only settle them down, but now we're going to start clearing some of those fields because we're not creating more thought energy. We're not putting more out into the universe or into our auras or fields. We're maintaining within a peaceful presence. So we're burning off some of that drossy energy that we've created. We're calming ourselves inside. We're intuitively conditioning and linking in to our subtle bodies, and we're also beginning to listen in silence and in ourselves to receive higher guidance. You don't have to meditate for a half hour. You don't have to meditate for an hour. You can even begin just meditating 5 minutes a day, and it's going to make a huge difference in your life. Little steps make the most difference for you, and it's going to make the most difference in your life if you do it on a constant basis. 5 minutes in the morning when you just wake up, even if you just want to lay in bed with your eyes closed, maybe even remembering your dreams as a form of meditation. And it'll help you get focused for your day. You'll notice that you can be more directed, more focused on what you need to do during that day if you start with a little meditation, and maybe even get a better night's rest if you do it just before you go to sleep. So that's a little bit on meditation. We're going to talk a lot more about it because there's so much more that you can do with it in accessing the higher realms. But at least you have the position, and you can try it for a little while and see how it goes. And I'll see you soon.